Aloha, this is Gigi from Kauai Community College. This is exam 2 review and it has to do with derivatives and related rates. That's what the test is about. For problem 3, you are asking to apply various rules to find the derivative of these 3 functions. So let's go ahead and get started. First, here we have a difference. So then the derivative of a difference is the difference of the derivative. So you'll just take the derivative of each one of these terms separately and then subtract them, right? However, the first term is easy. That would be just the derivative of 3x is 3 minus the derivative of 5 cosine square of 2x. That has a chain rule. Okay, when the outside function is something to the second power, and then the inside function is cosine of something of 2x, right? And then when we take the derivative of the inside function, that is another inside. Okay, so this is a chain. Here we go. Take the derivative of that, we move the x power down, right? So because the derivative of something to the second power is 2 multiplied by that thing, right? So that would be 2 times 5 is 10. 10 what? 10 of that thing. And that thing right there is cosine of 2x. Okay, that inside function is what goes there. Okay, now the derivative of the inside function, which would be the derivative of cosine of 2x. The derivative of cosine is negative sine of 2x multiplied by its inside derivative, which is 2. So, altogether, we have 2 multiplied by 10 is 20. Negative times a negative is a positive. So then the derivative of part A is 3 plus 20 cosine of 2x multiplied by sine of 2x. Now, if you actually think about identities, trig identities, where you have cosine of something, sine of something, and you have 2 of those, that's going to give you sine of 2 of the input, right? That's the double angle. So really, we could write the derivative here is 3 plus 10 sine of 4x, and that would be a lot simpler. Okay, so that is part A. Part B, the derivative here has a product. Okay, so we know we would have to use the product rule right here. Okay, so the product rule said the derivative of the first, which would be e to the negative 2x multiplied by the inside derivative, which would be negative 2. Because the derivative of negative 2x is negative 2. That's the derivative of the first times the second, which would be sine of square root of x, plus the derivative of the second. The derivative of the second is sine of square root of x. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and leave that blank. Multiplied by e to the negative 2x, right? That's the derivative of the second function times the first right there. Okay, so we would have the derivative of sine is cosine of square root of x multiplied by the inside derivative, because this is right here the inside function to the function sine. So then the derivative of that is 1 over 2 square root of x. So overall, you will have the derivative of part B is if we factor out e to the negative 2x, we would have, and I would write the positive term first, so I would have 1 over 2 square root of x cosine of square root of x minus 2 sine of square root of x. And that is my final answer. Okay, so product rule and chain. So this is product and chain. Okay, part C. Part C is asking for, so the difference here, the input is x to the third, whereas this here, the input or the inside function is tangent, right? So that's the difference between the two. The first one is secant of x to the third, right? So the inside function is x to the third, the outside function is x, whereas the second term tangent to the third of x, so then the outside function is x to the third, and the inside function is tangent of x. So that's the difference between the two. So you really want to, when applying the chain rule, you really want to focus on what is the output, what is the input of the function. Okay, so to realize the inside and outside. So the derivative here is derivative of secant is secant of x to the third, tangent of x to the third, multiplied by the derivative of the inside, which in this case is 3x squared. Okay, that's the first term. Okay, the second term, we have the derivative of tangent to the third. So then it would be 3 tangent square of x multiplied by the inside derivative, which is the derivative of tangent. So that would be secant square of x minus the derivative of 5 is 0. Okay, so if we had to clean this up and simplify, we say maybe we can recognize something here that is in common. Really not much except for the 3. So we'll just write 3x squared secant of x to the third tangent of x to the third plus 3 secant square of x tangent square of x. And that is as far as we can go. And that looks just fine, so leave it as is. Okay, so again, make sure you apply all of these rules as they are, and not try to make up your own rule. That will be just fine.